I love the title, Do You Believe in Magic? Because I heard that title and thought, well, this must be about the medical establishment and pharmaceutical drugs. Because you could just as easily, actually more easily, write a book called Do You Believe in Magic and talk about all the deaths, all the deaths. We know that there's over 100,000 deaths alone per year in this country just from properly administered drugs, properly prescribed drugs. We have another 30 or 40,000 deaths from overdoses, from taking it incorrectly. We've got several thousand other deaths from liver failure, from idiosyncratic reactions to drugs, and those are the drugs where the deaths are associated with the drug or with the treatment. There's probably a huge percentage that don't get reported because the link isn't made. But we don't have that. There's been 0 deaths in the last several years from nutritional supplements, 0. In fact, if you put all the statistics together, you have a several thousand times greater chance of dying from a prescription medication or an over-the-counter drug than you do from a vitamin, mineral supplement. Even herbs we haven't had any deaths. Now there are some herbs that have toxicity levels, but we haven't seen a death in the last several years even from an herbal preparation. So for Paul Offit to talk about that is crazy. We know that certain antioxidants work as pro-oxidants at high levels, very high doses, and that's used to advantage with people with cancer. But you can make the claims you want based on what potencies you're using and looking at studies with different potencies. The point is that most prescription drugs cause the very same problem they claim to treat. Anti-anxiety meds cause anxiety with long-term use. Antidepressants cause increased depression, increased anxiety, increased depression with long-term use. Painkillers increase pain with chronic use because they suppress your own endorphins. So it's such a joke that Paul Offit is making this claim. He really is not an industry outsider. He's an insider. And he gets paid a lot of money from drug companies. He's been sitting at a chair for a long time. That's a very highly paid chair. He's had a patent on a vaccine. He's worked for the vaccine industry. He is trying to sell his book. He's an industry insider. He's got everything to gain from bad mouthing anything alternative that's out of the pharmaceutical realm. So, I would take anything he says with a major grain of salt.